so you have to understand what you're actually doing wrong. And a lot of times people don't understand what they're doing wrong, and the other problem is that people don't want to, when they try to change and they make those good habits in practice mode, the
Mm-hmm.
moment they get in trouble, they revert back to it because that's what they know.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of taking small wins, because that's really what it is. You got to take small victories, right? So even though like you play against me and you feel like you can't fucking move and you feel like your movement's garbage, your movement's not garbage. It's just that you're playing someone who's elite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
I
know,
got that.
it's a you have to understand that part. Like Miguel is a character. When you play against him, he limits your movement. He's very. It's like playing against. You've played against a good Dragunov player.
Yeah.
Like it's like playing against a good Dragunov player. You're like, fuck, why am I always getting hit? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You feel like you just can't move. Well, it's not your movement. It's the character making it for you not being able to move. It's so you have to understand that about certain matchups. And that's why I preach spacing so hard to everybody is because spacing is key to a lot of these matchups. You know, spacing to me is number one, punishment is number two, and then reads are number three.
So you
If you
said
have the first
spacing,
two,
spacing and punishment and reads.
yes. So if you have the first two, you're gonna beat most people. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have reads, right, or you don't develop reads on people, you're gonna lose, especially against people that are as good or better than you,
Right.
because that means that they're catching the reads on what you're doing and you're not. So when you're playing against me, right, you have good days and bad days against me, but it also depends if I'm playing round robin. If I'm not playing round robin and I just play you with one character, you're gonna have a bad day against me.
Mm-hmm.
If I just sat here and played Miguel, you're gonna have a bad day
Yeah.
because I don't feel like you learn anything playing against my Miguel because my Miguel is that oppressive. Like the way that I play Miguel is very oppressive. I don't give you opportunities. I give you like you think I give you opportunities. Like opportunities when I put you on the wall. Like if you watch the sequences to when I put you on the wall to when you get re-wall splatted,
Uh,
you did that. All I did was give you space to do it. You
killed
know what I mean?
myself. Yeah.
Yeah, you're killing yourself. Like a lot of times you have this bad habit where you'll come off the wall and you will check duck as you're coming off the wall. And I don't even think you notice it. You're like you'll dash forward to me, jab, and then you'll dash back and duck. Like, why? There's no reason in that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are certain things that you do in these moments that are like, why are you doing that? Like, you have no reason to duck. And I know that you've programmed it into your movement, so now it's muscle memory. Like, I don't even think you're thinking about that. Like, I don't even think you notice you do it. A lot of
Nah.
the times when you're doing it.
Yeah.
So you're like, what the fuck? Why did I get hit? Well, it's because you're ducking. Like I told you, Miguel is one of these characters that he preys on that. Like he preys on people that duck. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
what he does. He preys on people that feel like their movement's shitty, and more than likely their movement is shitty. Because most of the people that play this game have bad movement. So he preys on people with bad movement. He preys on people that use big moves, and he preys on people that can't can't understand not to duck. Because you chuck like it's one thing to check duck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's take a different character for example. Okay, if you're playing against a character like Falcon Rum, right, who doesn't have lows that are off speeds,
Yeah.
right? It's easier to it's easier for your style to win against Falcon Rum
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have to change. You don't have to worry about the changing of the timing of the move. So changing of 3 frames is very big
Yeah.
in a low. So me playing Falcon Rom, you're gonna have a lot of success because of your style. right?
Mhm.
But you play me with a character that changes the timing of his lows, you're gonna have a bad day. You have a bad day against characters that have the same speed lows. Is the when you're struggling is when I'm putting you in 50-50s. That's when you're having a bad day against that character, where you just can't get it together about getting the reason when I want to put you in 50-50.
Mhm.
Or you're having a bad day because what you're either A, autopiloting and you don't know it, or B, you don't know the matchup. So you're kind of you're freestyling, trying to figure out the matchup.
Yeah, I think for the most part, it's a mixture of all three.
You know, and you have to really, if you really want to excel, like I notice a lot of people that the first time they played me, they're like, holy shit, how like I play really fast,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? Like my movement surprises a lot of people because like when I'm playing against like you know the kid that I'm training now, the Miguel player,
Mhm.
right? When I play against him, he's like, bro, your spacing and your movement is what's killing me. And then as the fights progress, he was like, my movement's absolute trash. I'm like, your movement's not trash. It's just I'm making it to where you can't move. It it's a manipulation of things, right? So you have to understand that manipulation of things. If that means stripping, if that means putting Claudio to the side, right, and
Uh huh.
focusing on a character to fix the hole, the hole that you're looking to fix, right? Say like, okay, I have a bad habit of check ducking, right?
Yeah.
Well, why not pick up a big? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I get
So
what you're
if you
saying because they can't afford to.
you
They
can't
can't
afford to
afford that.
duck like that. Like you have to duck on reads. Like Jack, you have to duck when you have a read. Otherwise, you're gonna get fucking murdered. Like it's gonna be bad, right?
Mhm.
And you see what I do against people with Jack.
Yeah.
You know, it's you can't afford to do that.
Correct. Yeah.
Or if you want to fix your other problem, right? So your other problem is punishment, right? Or
Mhm.
against certain parts of the cast. Okay, play Mishima. They
Yeah.
can't afford to miss punishment,
Right.
so they will help you with that. You don't have problems catching whiff punishes. You don't have problems putting people on the wall. You don't have you don't have certain problems, right? Because whiff punishment was one of my biggest problems when I
Mhm.
was like through season one. Like I had a huge problem trying to whiff punish people with this character. Like it was bad. Like when I all I felt like I had was forward 4-2-1, sidestep twin pistons, and sidestep hop kick. You know, and I fixed that. And the way that I fixed that was going to not only breaking down my character, but going to other characters to fix the issue. Like I went to Jack for better core defense. I went to Paul for better whiff punishment. You know, Jack
Mhm.
kind of helped me understand whiff punishment,
Mhm.
like what it actually is. But I went to Paul to really capitalize on understanding whiff punishment. And that's why you're so good at whiff punishment. Like that's why, you do well at that. You're not going to struggle in that department because the character that you main forever does that, and he does it at a high level.
Right.
You know, and so does Claudio at a certain extent because of his hop kick. He could just he really takes advantage of shit like that.
Mhm.
But it's understanding that understanding, and taking the time and taking a month or two, like take 3 months. You can still play Claudio, play ranked with Claudio, right?
Mhm.
But when you're playing these matches, like when you're playing player matches or you're getting in these lobbies,
Yeah.
play the character that you're trying to pick that one thing to do. You know what I mean? Because I know that you play ranked a lot more than you play against other players.
I'm not even playing rank no more. But that was my main thing back. Yeah, we had this discussion before. I was playing rank more times than anything.
Hmm. And the hard part for me is, I started doing the same thing. I started playing ranked, right?
Mhm.
But I limited my time.
Yeah.
Like I don't give myself 2 or 3 hours to get so fucking mad because of the stupidity that goes on in ranked. I don't do that. I give myself an hour. Win, lose, or draw, I'm out. You
Right.
know, and a lot of times I can't get people to stay.
Uh
I
huh.
have to I kind of have to sandbag to get people to stay against me to stay for the whole fight, right? Like I have to lose one. Like I'll lose the first one intentionally just to get a fight.
Right.
You know, so you didn't have. I don't think you had those problems, but like it gets frustrating playing ranked like that. And
Yeah.
right now, a quick match is even that much more toxic because you can't get anybody to stay in quick match, and they're starting to plug on you in quick match.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's just like I have to surround myself with people that are like me. I have to surround myself with the Kumus of the world, the Odells of the world. I have to these killers. I'm only getting older, man. Like I'm fucking 34. My reactions aren't getting better. You
Right.
know, I have to like those are the things I have to do, and those are the things I know I have to do. You know,
Mhm.
so it's up to you to really focus on a character. If you want to focus on side characters that fix holes, right? Like if you wanted to pick up a big play Gigas, you might have a fucking blast playing Gigas. I'll teach you everything about fucking Gigas. Play Marduk. I'll teach you everything about Marduk, and you'll understand the struggles I go through.
Mhm. I'll
Like you
think
think
about
like
which character I wanted to work on. I'll do that.
you know, and another character that has great movement, right? Elisa.
Yeah.
She kind of plays into that style that you like to play, where you like to kind of engage,
Hello.
have
You
that
broke
I
up.
notice is
What you say?
so the biggest weakness that I noticed when I play you is you will engage like I can entice you into a brawl, but the problem is that I'm not going to brawl with you. I'm going to pick you apart because you're trying to brawl.
Uh huh.
And I know I can incite that because it's the way that you like to play with Claudia. You like to be in that dogfight.
Right.
And that's where you like to excel, is in that phone booth. I'm not going to fight you in that phone booth. I'm going to fight you on my terms on that phone booth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because why would I do that? You know, cuz that used to be my wheelhouse. Like I used to like to sit there and just bang,
Mhm.
but that's not my wheelhouse anymore. I have a lot more skills. I'm well rounded. I can play going backwards. I can play banging with you. I can outmaneuver you. You know, so the character that at least to me, the three characters that stand out to me, right, to fix your issues, right. Jack is one for big. Gigas is one for a big. If you're gonna go towards punishment, I don't know how your execution is on pad. A Mishima, if you really want to go that route,
Mhm.
it's a lot of dedication playing pad to do electrics and stuff like that because they have a lot of just frame stuff.
Yeah.
So if you want to go that route, I don't blame you if you don't. Um, Alyssa, because she does not excel in dogfights,
So I have
she
to
excels in
depend more
movement
in
and with
movement.
punishment. Yeah, she excels more in the movement department, and her and you really have to focus on getting good punishment from her.
Hmm.
because those are kind of the things that she kind of lacks. You know, she's not as fast as Claudio when it comes to offense, so you're gonna have to plan your offense a little better. You know, like the way that you approach and the way that you do things.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to plan that a lot better with her. So those are like, to me, that would be what I would be looking at. You know, you could try to go back to Paul, but you already had so many instilled bad habits with that character. Like, I honestly wouldn't recommend it
Mhm.
if you even remember how to play the character.
Not really. Man.
So, I mean, you know, Shaheen is kind of a. Shaheen relies heavily. Like, he gets away with some stuff, but he relies heavily on making sure his offense is right. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, he relies really heavily on that slide. You know, he relies heavily on that.
Right.
Um, Brian is definitely an option because there's no character in the world that's going to frustrate you by playing Brian.
Mm.
There's a lot of characters that are going to frustrate you. Like, my buddy goes through it all the time, and he's a fantastic Brian player. You know, and he's all about building reads.
Mm.
He's about building reads, understanding where you're at. You know, he's really all about spacing. He's really all about reads. And you know, like, you can't miss punishment with that dude. Even though, like, you watch Brian players, they feel like bullies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you notice, most of those guys that play like that, they have no defense. They had no defense.
Uh huh.
Like, none at all. Like, when you put it on them, like when you start putting on traps and stuff, and you start setting up traps and you space them out, they have no defense. None.
Right.
They're literally all going for
All,
push stuff.
all offense. I've
Yeah,
played
they got
people
nothing
like
after
that
that.
before.
And most of the time, they're flow charting.
Mm.
So as soon as you get the read on the flow chart, like, they suck.
Mhm.
You know, so that's another thing that it would help you understand is not the flow chart. You know,
Right.
like using big lows. Like, you're not gonna sit there and use snake edge with Brian. You're not gonna be that guy. You know,
Yeah.
it looks fucking terrible if you're being that guy. So if it was me, like, personally, I would offset your time playing Claudio and playing a character that is gonna fix something for you, and that you can apply you can apply that back to Claudio.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, bro, lately, like, I've been playing. You know, I've been training two guys, Stan, and I've been training this guy, Rolat. His name's Rolat. I think that's how you pronounce it, Rolat. I call him Raw,
Mhm.
Ral. Um, and bro, like, you thought you went through the struggles, and you did, but you think you're going through the struggles right now with me? Like, they're getting 31 to 2,
Mm.
31 to 3.
Dang, I remember those days. Yeah.
You know, they're getting beat up like real bad. You know,
Yeah.
it's rough. Like, it is really rough in these streets. You know,
Yeah.
and they don't understand it. Like, they don't understand. Like, Stan went to, he's finally saying, hey, I think it's time for me to move off Jack and get to the real main. You know what I mean? I was like, cool, do it. So he went to Jin.
Okay.
You know what I did?
Toe it
I
up.
played him with Shaheen.
Shaheen,
I
how
went to
did that
Shaheen.
matchup go?
It was 19-2. I beat him 19-2.
Damn.
It was rough. Like, I beat him up pretty bad.
Mm.
I didn't even play Aichi. Like that was. I think I would. Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, Hachi is pretty mean in these streets.
I mean. He after after what happened, like
Hmm.
after the game that I ended that on, like I was like, oh, I might have broken.
You know what? Now I'm thinking, the first thing I really want to work on is my movement, cause that kills me a whole lot.
It's your check because I think if you played a new character,
Hmm.
you would see the bat. You would see what you're doing because you play Claudio so much, you're not really looking at him anymore, right? Like before, you kind of look at your character when you're like new.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you focus more on your character than you focus on the opponent.
So what? Why did we choose? What's her name? Not Kunimitsu. Uh,
Alyssa,
no, because she was fundamentally sound. Like you have to have
Kazumi.
fundamental. Yeah.
She's fundamentally sound. Like she's fundamentally sound. You can't get into a dogfight. You have to pick your moments with her. She's not one of those characters you can just go and you know go ham. She's not. She's not that. She doesn't have the same good lows that you have with uh with Claudio. She's very fundamentally sound. She has decent movement, and she can whiff punish with 442. You know,
Mhm.
so really what it comes down to is like if you're gonna focus on your movement,
Mhm.
like the pattern that I use is probably the best for me. It's the best for me, right?
Okay.
That setting the range. The biggest thing is understanding range, and then setting the range, and then using the movement pattern. That's how the move. That's why my movement excels, right? So I set the range first before I want to play this matchup, right? Like understanding what they're like after that first round and a half or so. I set the range, and then that's where my movement pattern starts to really excel because forward back, forward back, forward back. 94% of the time you're going to catch the block because of how small the neutral is for that, right?
Mhm.
Well, if you have a dirty backdash, right, where you're doing like QC back, right, and not doing back back down neutral back, right, and doing that correctly, well, you have a dirty backdash, so that means you can get hit in that backdash.
Right.
There's
It's
a
not.
frame opening that you can get hit. So that means that you have to now recalibrate how you're doing your movement patterns. With what you like to do is you like to hold back, tap back back, and then what you'll do is you immediately hold down, right?
Mhm.
Which I don't think you notice, but that's what you like to do. You like to, and that's why like if I haven't played you in a while, you'll get like the first 2 or 3 games against me
Mhm.
because your movement pattern is it's very unique to you
Um.
because of the way that you like to do it. You like to just hold back and then you'll hit back back down and hold down. That's what makes it unique to you, right? Where like if you're backdashing, there's a on a backdash there's a certain frame, like you have a certain hitbox on that, right? So I
Mhm.
can hit you.
Right.
So those are the things that you have to really take into account is really breaking down what you're looking at. Because when I look at you, like I see a person that can be a good player, that has the mind to be a good player,
Mhm.
right? But I also see you molded this, you molded the way that you want to play catered to ranked.
Right.
Like the way that you play is catered to rank, right? So your movement's catered to rank, your offense is catered to rank. Everything that you've done, the mold, like you didn't mold it to beat good players. You molded it to beat ranked players.
And that makes sense. Yeah.
You know, the way that you like to beat people, like that's why you try to excel at dogfighting because you're first in the buttons.
Uh huh.
And that's why when I play you and you're like, fuck, you know, like when we played last time, you were just like, fuck, like, what the fuck is going on? My movement's absolute garbage. Well, the reason your movement's absolute garbage is because I make it that way. Don't don't think your movement's absolute garbage. I just keen on it. Like I can focus on certain things. Like I know when you want to duck, you know.
Right.
And the other part is you think that I'm going to stop throwing it just because you low parried me. Like no, that's not how it works. That's not how conditioning works. I don't care if you low parry me. You know, that just tells me, hey, you're starting to duck. Cool. You know.
Mhm.
So when you're playing against me, you have to throw that whole trying to put me into a dogfight out of the window.
Okay.
That's the
And you
first the
got
first
some.
thing.
You got some games. Probably. I need to start watching some games where possibly playing somebody on your level, which I could see like. Let's just say it was you and Halo
Halo?
or whatever. Yeah, because I could sit there and watch it, and I could see what movement actually looked like. Because I'm not going off of anybody in particular. I'm just going off of my imagination.
Oh, you sent invites. Oh my bad. I sent invites.
Oh, I'm
I'll
not
join
in.
yours.
I'm not in anything. I'm not in anything right now. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay. I didn't realize you sent invites. Let me see if I have any. Let me get out of this lobby, and then I'll let me see if I still have fights with Halo because I play so much now. It's like I'm
Mm-hmm.
you know all of it's against Stan and Rolo. Yeah. I might still have some of my fights on YouTube.
Okay, I think that would help me better to get a picture of like what I need to change.
So,
I'm about to give me something to drink. I'll be right back.
okay.
Hello?
Don't mind.
I'm back.
Okay. I think I might have found some games from a couple years ago.
Okay.
Make sure. And Halo knows me. Like, he knows me as a player. So it's gonna be a different fight. So we know
Mhm.
things about each other that it's a very different fight.
Right.
So we're playing like mind games on top of mind games. So he's playing Prophet's brother here. Alright, so you sent invite.
Yeah.
What's Prophet? Okay, some like Steve. So you know I got plenty of characters to play against if you want to play a side.
If I want to be a side or play against
No,
a
if you wanted to
side.
play a side,
Oh yeah.
that's not letting me go.
Yeah, I don't got no side officially. I know all the moves too.
I don't think he has any more videos of us on the internet. Go to this thing. So, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, do you want me to play sides?
Um.
Because I'll play sides. I mean, it's the same. Every character that I play, it's the same movement pattern.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. There's nothing crazy as to what I'm trying to do to you. I have the same general game plan with most characters that I play. It's just some are just better at implementing than others.
Right. Uh, we should do half and half.
All right. So do you want? Would you prefer? All right. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Kazuya. See how you do against these electrics and these hell sweeps.
Mhm.
Wrestling. I hear wrestling. Have you thought about going to stick?
Yeah, but I don't even. I don't. With the way my hands be, I don't think I'm be good at it.
What do you mean with the way your hands be?
Well, I'm just saying, like my execution.
That has nothing to do with it.
It's pretty easy to use.
I mean, if you're like what I would do if I was you is I would invest into a Korean lever because it's a lower learning curve.
Mm.
pulled that shit out of my ass. Well, you know.
Yeah.
I'm,
You said Kazuya is like your top three, right?
it used to be. I don't play much anymore. If you want top three, that's you're getting into like Gigas, Marduk,
Or not?
Bang.
A big.
But I'm playing. The reason I'm playing this character
Hmm.
is I don't play as fast as I do with the other ones. So it slows down the pace so you can kind of see what you're doing.
Okay.
Oop, that's not what I wanted. I was playing for you to check duck there. So I double jabbed and jabbed. Send you your check duck.
You alright?
I thought you was about to go washing. I thought you was going washing.
Yeah. What you trying to do? Go downstairs or go to the wash house?
Mm-hmm.
You can just go downstairs.
But if we go downstairs, I don't want hella powder on my stuff. Like I got clothes with that powder on my stuff. Can you get
Oh, I still gotta go to the store to get detergent anyway.
what store you going to?
Down the street.
Huh?
Down the street.
Body? Can you give me some body wash?
Dang. What type of body wash?
The one I got in there. Cause I don't got no more.
Hmm.
Oh, I ran into that.
Oh wow. No.
You notice a common theme here?
The 50-50?
Nope.
What's the common thing?
Common theme is you give up 3 rounds in a row. You go up quick. You'll go up a quick 2 rounds, and then you'll fall apart.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think you come out guns a-blazing, trying to get it back, and then you're like, okay, I got him, and you settle on that, yeah, I got him, and then you fall apart as the rounds go on. I think you relax on the final round that you need to win, and then you just never get yourself back into the game.
Yeah. Alright, let's get this one.
Fuck. punch me for that. Anytime you see this, hop kick.
I read too much into that. Alright. No way.
Uh-huh. And has is a pretty good hurt box.
His leg is hella long.
And it sucks because I keep mixing up the timing of deep dash, or am I just gonna do it?
Mm. Alright, I got something. I got an idea. Oh shoot. That's fail.